So, finally here. First and foremost, I want to apologize for whatever it was that happened um last weekend, you know. Um Apparently it was on my end, the issues. It was a pretty short show. With that said, just discovered something I talked about on my other channel, but I didn't get into, well, I guess I did get into detail. Apparently, when people visit the Crazy Dangerous Show, Crazy Dangerous Podcast channel, it said that there's no content. Now, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong over here on StreamYard, or if this is again an attempt by YouTube to censor the channel. They've already censoring me on my own channel, and apparently now they want to censor the new Crazy Dangerous channel as well. And quite frankly, I can't afford it. I can't afford to be paying $25 a month for StreamYard, okay? So I can so that you guys can participate, so that Tatolini can come in when he can to participate, and YouTube saying that there's no content, even though if you click live, you'll see all our videos so far, all our live streams. So for all, I don't even know how to say it, for all purposes, that including that, the major one, and for other things, like the technical issues I've been having, this is going to be the last Crazy Dangerous podcast. I'm not going to pay $25 a month if YouTube is censoring the videos, number one, and if you guys ain't participating, joining in the, and I'm not talking about the chat, but the live stream. If a few of you have, and I thank you guys. But if I'm going to be paid $25 a month for StreamYard, I might as well do it on my channel, not on this one. It makes no point. There's no point, if nobody's calling in live, participating live, with their computers and their mics. I need that. That's the whole purpose of paying for this, And then on top of that, YouTube is telling people who visit the channel that there's no content. You fucking socialist pigs. You fucking bastards at YouTube. You jackasses. You jerk-offs. You fuckheads. I'm not going to be your sucker. Okay? I'll just go back to my channel and talk about whatever it is I want to talk about there. And that's it. And I'll use the StreamYard over there on my own channel. So, there's one person watching. If nobody comes in, I think I've already promoted the show enough that those of you who know about it know that it's 4 o'clock every fucking Sunday. I don't need to do that anymore, unless, again, you guys are trying to come into the channel to watch the live stream, and YouTube is doing something to stop you. Since I began on YouTube in 2008, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but the fact is the fact, for those of you who don't know, I was one, if not the one person, back in 2008 when I began on YouTube under another name. I was one of the few people, I was the one of the few people that talked about conspiracy theories. What did I do? I read out of the book Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. And at that time, there was still some freedom on YouTube, not like the socialist pigs now on YouTube. Um, and I got a lot of hits. Some years later, maybe 1 or 2 years later, yeah, like a year later, I talked shit about Zack Snyder's upcoming Watchmen movie because I knew it was going to be shit and that Zack Snyder is a piece of shit. I got a lot of hits on that too. Got so many hits that the show that's called Double Toasted used to be called Spill.com back in the day. They actually helped me get a lot of views by talking about my video, you know. And I had some unkind words to say to them, but now that I reflect, I look back at it, and they did help me out at that time. But through the years, the more different topics I would like to talk about, because I wasn't always talking about movies and entertainment. Through the years, I would see little by little by little our freedoms being taken away on goddamn YouTube. So through the years, I experimented with other sites that that allowed people to do live broadcasts. There was one, I forgot what the hell it was called, but people actually went on there to talk nude. They would be nude and they would be talking about shit. There was one lady, much older lady, who was there nude all the time. And this is before people started getting paid. This is before Patreon. This is before the YouTube paying people. This was a whole different place, a whole different channel. But the good thing, was that people weren't censored. They weren't censored. There was another channel a couple of some years ago called MeTube or TubeMe or some shit. And because of YouTube and their dirty tactics, they couldn't compete with the motherfuckers. They couldn't compete. And people talk about BitChute, which it's good. If you want to see a lot of stuff that YouTube has censored, you go to BitChute, you watch it. There's Troll Alley. The phone's ringing, but I can't pick it up. I got to do the show. There's Troll Alley, where if you want to see gore, if you want to see fights and stuff, you go to Troll Alley and you watch it. You watch them fighting, and uncensored. Unfortunately, also, people upload the tragic stuff, like these crazy shooters going all over the place into supermarkets, shooting at innocent people, schools and shit. Unfortunately, you have to see that too, which isn't something, good. I guess it's good in that we see actually what happened, but it's a shame that you're watching innocent people die. That's another site, Troll Alley. So far hasn't been censored. But YouTube, they're a bunch of shady fucks. Let me tell you why YouTube is a bunch of shady fucks. I would rather that YouTube would just say, we don't want you on our platform. Go away. I would rather have them censor me outright than this little game of cat and mouse where they take away a freedom. A couple of years later, maybe, they give you back a little bit of that freedom, but then they slowly pull it away again. That's why on my channel, the symbol that I use, the banner that I use, is Hollywood, California, with a big old communist hammer and sickle there. Which reminds me, those of you who think, all right, that with the fall of the Soviet Union, communism died over there, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Socialism is as strong over there still. Remember what USSR means. I think it's Union of Socialist something Republics, but you know what it means. You can't fool me. That was part of the phase of socialism in Russia. That was always part of the phase. It was going to happen once they oppressed the people and dumbed the people down and made them subservient to government. Little by little, they chiseled away the thing, the symbols, the icons, the flag they changed. But make no mistake, that's right. Remember the movie? It wasn't called Police Squad. It was Naked Gun. Remember the first Naked Gun movie? And all the enemies of the world, all the enemies of the United States were together having a meeting in the beginning. And Gorbachev is there, and he's talking about, I got the Americans thinking I'm a nice guy. It's true. But that's why they put it in the movie. They weren't just trying to be fucking funny. It's fucking true. And now, with the son of a bitch Putin doing what he's doing, people are beginning to see. But what's worse is that Putin is the outside threat. He's distracting us with the Ukraine shit. And while he's doing his little shenanigans over there, the sons of bitches, socialist pigs in this country, the real threat, are doing their dirt. So we're distracted with what Putin doing in the Ukraine, while these socialist fucking pigs here are doing their dirt here amongst us. And some of you believe that Trump is going to somehow end all of this. That, first off, I wouldn't put all my money on Trump, because Trump is also being backed by a different organization, another secret goddamn society, okay, the Zionists, and they're funding him, okay, whether you know it or not. That's why Trump supports Israel. That's why Trump supports the Zionism, which is nothing but socialism, another form of socialism. So we're being attacked by these oppressors, by these bastards, okay, from two fronts. And I'm sorry to say, and it's the truth, that we're going to fall just like every other country has fallen throughout history. Just like every other country has fallen throughout history. It's the same, not necessarily the same people, but their initiates, their descendants that follow the same goddamn agenda. I know I've strayed away from the topic, but since we only got one person here, so the one person watching, whoever it is, you're welcome to join the live stream. I got a couple of notes, so I might as well bring them up here since I'm doing the show here. Let me turn this off. Okay, where are the notes? In case you didn't know, I'm also a fan of documentaries. Usually the documentaries from back in the late 80s and 90s. Most of the documentaries we watch now, that are made now, produced now, have agendas. It's propaganda, just like the movies and the TV shows, and they can't be believed. I mean, they really are changing history. You thought they were liars back then. They are completely lying now in everything. There's nothing that's entertainment anymore. Everything is fucking propaganda. I want to say something that I failed to say on the previous videos I've done. Whenever a population of a nation get tired of their form of government, whether it's the pharaoh, whether it's the Caesar, whether it's the emperor, whether it's the dictator, when they begin to get tired of it, or when they begin to wake up and realize that they're being that they're practically slaves, that basically they're slaves, when they realize that they're the real power and that they can topple these goddamn governments anytime they want, when they realize the corruption right in their midst, and if you look out throughout history, it always happens. Some sort of tragedy, some sort of big event happens to that population that decimates that population. It's almost as if there's some sort of I can't prove this, I'm just theorizing. There's some sort of a switch that the powers that be can hit, and some cataclysm, that's the word I was looking for, happens and wipes out the civilization. And then the powers that be move on to the next nation, the next culture. Yeah, they always somehow manage to survive and go and infiltrate another country and pervert it. From Babylon, they went into Egypt. From Egypt, they went into Greece. From Greece, they went into Rome. From Rome, they went out through all of Europe. And I've been making videos in the last couple of weeks. You guys have been watching them. I've been talking about the Illuminati. I've been talking about the White Brotherhood. Y'all know them from different names. They have different symbols. I showed you a book on one of the vids where all the different groups are mentioned. This book was published. This book was published and was sold at a Barnes & Noble. Why? You might be asking yourself, they want to keep themselves secret, but they're publishing because they don't care anymore. They don't care what you know, what you find out. In their egotistical, opinion, there's nothing you can do about it. So they don't give a shit. They'll put it right in your face. They'll put it in the movies right in your face. They'll put it on the TV shows in your face, documentaries, books, music. They're so arrogant that you are not able to stop them, that they're letting these things be released. And then if you start talking about them, you're labeled crazy. Because why? Because the majority of the masses, because that's their term, the majority of the masses are not going to believe it. Somebody said they give it to, somebody said this, they say Hitler said it, but I don't know if it's really that. But the bigger the lie, the more people believe it. I don't know who really quoted that, but supposedly it was Hitler. He would know, right? He was one of them. He was initiate of the mystery religion. Because make no mistake, everything going on, it looks like you think it's politics. No, it isn't. Politics is just a tool. Doesn't matter if it's communism, democracy, so-called democracy, republic. Doesn't matter what form it is. I don't give a two shits about the Power Ranger. Didn't know. If it was the one that was committing criminal activity, he deserved it. It was one that was actually involved in a murder. I guess when the Power Ranger show ended, he started living a life of crime, him and some buddies. And I forget which Power Ranger it was. It might have been the one in the black suit. I'm not sure. But him and somebody decided to kidnap a couple. I guess they had them sign over their money to take out the banks or whatever, or bring some money with them. I don't know how. I don't remember how it went. And guess what they did? Guess what they did? That Power Ranger, the crime. I hope that's the one that died. I hope that's the one that died. They tied them up, chained them up, and they weren't even merciful enough to kill them before tossing them off of the boat, off of the yacht. No, they drowned alive. They drowned them alive. So if that was the Power Ranger, last thing I heard, he was in prison. But if that was the same motherfucker that died today, burn in hell if it exists, motherfucker. There's so many other people that if you see me, I don't lie. I told y'all that I would celebrate when that Queen bitch of England died. And I did. I think almost 2 hours I celebrated the death of that Queen bitch. Knowing full well that with her death, a lot of stuff now is going to start happening, especially in good old London, England. Getting back to what I was saying. So speaking of that, things are going to change. I'm just trying to get the right words. Be prepared for a cataclysmic event. I don't know what it is. I got guesses. But be prepared for something big to go down because they're beginning to lose control. And whenever these bastards lose control, I'm not going to give you dates like some people. Everybody go, how many times have I heard about this is going to happen on this date? That's going to happen on that date. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's bullshit. Because the powers that be will do what they want to do when they want to do it. We're on their timetable. They're not on our timetable. We are on their timetable. And things are beginning to, you see, a lot of people, the way things happen, a lot of people believe it's all coincidence. And once a person believes the media, the fucking mainstream media, which is the tool they use to convince you everything happens by accident, everything's a coincidence. And that's not saying that some things aren't. Yes, some things are coincidence, some things are, accidental. But in the world of politics, a wise man once said, nothing is coincidence. There's nothing that happens in politics that's by chance, accident, or coincidence. When it happens in politics, it was meant to. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring up that I failed to talk about. Get ready for something big to go down. Second, number 2. While watching this documentary I'm talking about, this Blood in the Snow, Blood on the Snow, and if you can find it on YouTube and watch it before they take that out, because they're gonna, once these bastards take over big time, all the stuff on YouTube, all right, that they feel that you don't need to see, they're gonna remove it. And one of these documentary, and this documentary especially. While watching it though, it reminds me that people get caught up with the communists and the Nazis and this group and Mussolini and this and that, and this is what they did here and this is what happened there. And they forget that the main objective, no matter if it's the Germans or the Russians or the Italians, the main objective is to thin out the herd. In other words, kill us. That's one of their main objectives. And people get caught up like it's a game, but we're the ones that are always suffering. You notice that shit? Well, these bastards either escape to Argentina or live a long life till they get sick, get bedridden like Stalin did, and slowly die, or this Queen bitch of England a couple of months ago, so lived a long life, happy, all the fucking shit that I can only imagine. The evil, committed in England. And we'll never know. We'll never know the details of that shit. But they get to live a long fucking life. While the rest of us just minding our business, going to work. You see what happened when so I don't believe everything being shown supposedly happening in the Ukraine. There's a lot of videos that are for something else. and they show it here and say, oh, this happened in the Ukraine, and people believe it. But in the first strikes, if you see the raw footage, when the Russians invade Ukraine, you see all these dead bodies. You see people who are probably just minding their business, just going along, going to work. I seen one guy obliterated. He was on his bike. You see him obliterated to pieces, you know. And I say to myself, this could happen here. This can happen here. That could be you. That could be me. I know it's hard for you bastards. I know a lot of you idiots out there, especially you proud motherfuckers who believe that America cannot suffer and the United States will always be powerful. You guys, you live in a fucking cloud. You live somewhere I don't understand. I don't understand you. I don't want to understand you. I don't like the left, but a lot of you motherfuckers on the right also make me nauseous and sick to my stomach. That could just as easily happen here. If these bastards continue to infest Washington and Hollywood, California, which is really the real power base, okay? That shit could happen here. And you might be saying, oh, what you're saying? Our own people will attack us? That's a possibility. But also, all they got to do is allow it. That's all these bastards have to do is allow a terrorist in here, allow a nuke to come over. Oh, we forgot. Oh, we couldn't stop it. It's too late. Oh, we couldn't see it till it was too late. And the majority of you idiots are going to fall for it. You're going to believe it. Just like you did 9/11. You know that the majority of people still believe that was bin Laden. 2022. Look how many years have passed. Even when I was watching the second plane hit the building, I happened to see it live. I was working at a hotel, and one of the people that were staying there asked me and another gentleman to showed me, oh, come over here. You see what's going on? So we went into his room, and the TV's on, and we see the smoke coming out of one of the towers. And at that precise moment, the second plane hit the second tower. First thing I thought, oh, maybe it's a movie. That's how dumb I was. That's how dumb I was. I thought it was a movie being filmed. Then later, went to another room upstairs, a vacant room, and watched as the towers fell. Of course, as you can, there was no work being done that day. Everything halted. Everything stopped. But there are still people that believe it was hijackers. Let me ask you a question. The easiest, simplest question. These guys were supposedly from Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia. Why did anything happen to Saudi Arabia? Why, to this day, are we still in cahoots with those bastards? Answer my question. Think about it. And for all you people that like war, you know what I'm saying? All you people, and there's a difference between what I ask for and what you ask for. All you people who want war to conquer and shit, that's who I'm talking about. You bastards. If we had invaded Saudi Arabia, took over their oil, right? Wouldn't you want that shit? You warmongers? There's a difference. When I support a nuclear war, it's because I think it's time for us to reap what we have sown. I don't care how our chastisement comes about. We deserve something. We deserve what we got because we have done so much shit. Maybe that's why these bastards are running our government now. Maybe that's part of our chastisement. Maybe they're meant to be there to make us suffer. Maybe this is it. Maybe we should. And that's what and so when I say we need to get nuked, I mean it. I really fucking mean it. Because our attitudes, what we have made important in our lives, the perversion of nature is the order of the day. Because that's what's going on, y'all. The perversion of nature. Okay? A lot of you believe in good versus evil. That shit's bullshit. If we're going to be honest, it's really bad and worse. There's no good. There's no fucking good. No matter how intricate you try to rationale events, there is no good. We are corrupt. We are perverted. And quite honestly, I don't care if men want to be women, if women want to be men. I don't give a two shits. I really honestly don't give a fuck. But it is a perversion. It's a perversion of nature. And like Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park, nature finds a way. Nature will find a way to fight back. All these perverts walking around are gonna get theirs. They're comeupping. What they say, upcoming. They're gonna get theirs. Comeuppance. All right. So I'm not worried about it. Something will happen where these people will be eliminated. I don't know what. I'm not predicting it. I'm predicting it, but I don't know exactly what it's going to be. I can come to some sort of understanding and be in the ballpark, but I don't know exactly what it is that's going to happen. So their objective is to kill us, and I'm beginning to believe that we deserve it. Which leads me to number 3. And this is the one that's going to be very difficult for y'all to believe. If you don't support the upcoming New World Order, and I don't care what your religion is, I don't care what your politics is, you will be exterminated. I know you can't imagine it. You can't imagine someone wiping out you and your entire family, but that's exactly what's going to happen. Once this cataclysmic event happens, once this whatever it is that's coming happens, it's going to be the perfect time for them to move in during all the chaos, have the excuse that they're bringing back law and order, and they're going to kill you. And they don't care. You seen that dyke bitch in that video? That dyke army person? Well, I don't know what part of the army she's in, but you seen that video. And she's straightforward. This dyke bitch straightforward says that if when she comes to your door, you don't do exactly what she orders you to do, she's going to kill you. And that's not just her opinion. That's how they're trained. These bastards are socialist, communist pigs and they don't even fucking know it. She wasn't kidding. And you'll watch that video and you laugh about it. Ha ha ha, funny, funny. She ain't kidding, y'all. You don't think that there are people in the armed forces, in our military, who are not going to follow the orders? You're going to have dumbasses who follow the orders no matter what. And then you're going to have motherfuckers in charge of them who want them to follow the orders, who have an agenda. And their agenda is to eliminate anyone that's contrary or against this so-called beautiful utopia that they're going to come about, that's going to be made around the world. Don't believe that you're safe because you're a practicing Jew. Don't believe you're safe if you're a Christian. Don't believe you're safe if you're an atheist. Oh, all you atheists helping put the New World Order together, helping it along, you're going to get yours too. You're just a tool. You're just being used to help bring it about. Because atheists are usually amoral people. They don't give a fuck what they do. And then they call it freedom. They pervert it. It's freedom. Remember that bitch that took God out of the public schools? The word God? You couldn't say God anymore. Remember that bitch? Remember that atheist communist bitch? Forgot O'Hare, that was her name, Irish pig that she is or was. You remember what happened to her, right? Remember what happened to her, right? She was in cahoots. She had some people working for her, criminals who were also atheists. They robbed her, tied her up with her children, killed them, dismembered them. Tragic irony or poetic justice? You tell me. Well, it's 4:37. Is that all my notes? Yep. And as I said, for all intended purposes, this will be the final crazy and dangerous podcast, at least as far as Yardstream is concerned. Or StreamYard. I don't know why I say Yardstream all the time. StreamYard is concerned. Because I don't know if it's StreamYard doing it. I don't know if it's YouTube doing it. But this channel, our channel, me and Tatolini's channel, are not getting the views they're supposed to. Once again, they're doing shenanigans. And I will never take advice from YouTube. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I will do my show. I will do any show. I will do this show the way I want to do it. I will do my show the way I want to do it. I do my show my way. Y'all want special effects? Y'all want editing bullshit? Go find somebody else. There are plenty of fucking clones out there that do the same shit over and over and over and over. This is about truth. This is about truth. You can't handle the truth. That's right. Jack Nicholson said that. He was talking to y'all. Y'all can't handle the truth. You wouldn't know the truth if it was shoved up your asses. And that's it. I'm going to thank the 1 or 2 people that showed up. Peace.